Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's almost official that Zack Snyder's SnyderVerse will return. In fact, the breaking news, according to Cosmic Book News from their inside sources, that it's now in play that Snyder will return very, very, very soon. In fact, he's bringing back his whole crew. In fact, it's not just only Zack Snyder. Christopher Nolan will be back as well, and he's going to produce not just the Dark Knight Returns, but other DC projects. Once Warner Brothers is sold out, but I'll explain what has been reported here because it's an interesting article. Not just only that, the Saudis are now involved. They want to buy Warner Brothers. But let me get on to what has been written here. According to Cosmic Book News, because they are saying that they've now reached out to their insiders and they have broken down what's going on inside Warner Brothers. They say that Zack Snyder is going to return and he's bringing back the gang. He's bringing back Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill will be back as Superman. Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot will be back as Wonder Woman. You will also have Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck will also be back as Batman. In fact, it's even shocking. This same report is saying that Ezra Miller, as controversial as he has been, will also be back as the Flash. So let's go on to what is being said here because it's an interesting breaking news report. And it's crazy because if this ends up happening, it will be amazing. I've always wanted Snyder to not just finish his storyline, but I wanted him back because he's a better director than James Gunn. He tells more better stories and he's more in line with what DC has always been about if you read the comics. So now, this is from Cosmic Book News. They're saying that regarding DC, the message from our inside is clear. The Zack Snyder SnyderVerse is back in play fully. That means Zack Snyder returning to DC, not just for a one-off Ellsworth title, but for an actual revival of the universe he started. This article goes on to say that they are also told that Christopher Nolan will be part of the plan to return as executive producer. That's the same man, Christopher Nolan, who backed Zack Snyder on Man of Steel and helped shape the original version of DC before Warner Brothers derailed it with so much studio interference. Now, according to what has been said before, Christopher Nolan decided to hand over the DC brand to Zack Snyder at the time. So this is an interesting situation. Now, Zack Snyder publicly said that he wanted to end his DC career with just one film, an adaptation of The Dark Knight Returns. But now, Cosmic Book News are saying that what they have now gotten as a recent update from this same insider is that the impending sale of Warner Brothers Discovery has shifted everything. He's no longer even thinking about just that one singular film of The Dark Knight Returns. He's now pivoting towards restoring the Snyderverse outrightly. And if that happens, he's going to bring back Ben Affleck as Batman, who has publicly rejected working with James Gunn's DCU. Like DCU, not DCEU. Remember that so many of these legacy actors that were under Zack Snyder do not want to work with James Gunn. And Ben Affleck is one person that publicly rejected that idea of working with James Gunn in any project he works on in the DC brand. So after that, you also have Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill is Superman. Henry Cavill didn't say publicly he didn't want to work with James Gunn, but James Gunn himself got him fired. So this is a crazy situation at that time. So Henry Cavill will be back as Superman, and fans remember Henry Cavill, the interview with George Horowitz, where he confirmed his comeback, only for James Gunn to immediately kind of like cancel that comeback he put out. And also Gal Gadot is actively supporting the Snyderverse posts on social media, and it's not accidental. Even Ezra Miller is going to make a return of some sort in this new DCU under Zack Snyder. Now, the other thing again is that the report also talks about the $1 trillion funded Saudis that want to come buy Warner Brothers. And their main focus is to buy Warner Brothers and as well as see if they can get Universal Studios. They would like to get Universal Studios and put Warner Brothers and Universal Studios under one umbrella so that they will have all the franchises, the biggest franchises ever, from DC to Harry Potter to Jurassic World to, oh my goodness, that would be insane. They want theme parks, everything that you can think of. But I don't think Universal will want to be sold to the Saudis. That's something I just don't see happening. But guys, I hope you've enjoyed this report. If more updates comes out, I'll bring you guys the news report. Share thoughts down below. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel to like our content. I'll see you guys very much next time.